the Logan Summit Show. I am Logan Summit. Yes, indeed, we're back again. Check it to wreck it. Let's begin. It's time to talk about those furious fisticuffs. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about boxing today. A little bit of that pugilistic fortitude that we like to throw down here every once in a while. Yeah, like every single day. If you're not here, you should be. Millions.co. Check out all the old VODs. That's video on demand if you're old like me. This show is brought to you by Newer. Go over to newer.com. Use code Logan to save 20% off of pro gear at amateur pricing. Are you a pro content creator, an amateur content creator? It doesn't matter what you are. If you're a creator, get over to newer.com. Use code Logan. You'll thank me in the morning. All right, let's move on. Today, my guest is a 15-year-old phenom, and his name is King David Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we do. How you doing today, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Blessed. How about you?
I am feeling blessed as well. I just interviewed another dude who goes by King Ryu, and now we've got King David in the house. Now, speaking of houses, you're from Phoenix, Arizona, but am I led to believe that you're right here with me in Viva Las Vegas?
I also train in Vegas. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to come out next time you're here and check out your training sessions. I love it here in Vegas. Are you currently in Arizona or are you in Vegas?
Currently in Arizona right now.
All right. Well, either way, it's still desert. At the end of the day, you're still in the desert.
Oh, yeah.
It's hot. All right. So you are 3-0. Congratulations. Congratulations. You had a very historic, look, you're on a 3-win streak here. Jorge De Lara, TKO, round 1. Nam Alvaro, your debut, you got him done. Look, you've been fighting since how old? You're only 15. I believe you can't get into a gym outside of 10 years old. So how long have you actually been fighting?
So I've been fighting I've been training when I was 6 or 5. 6 or 5. So I've been doing it for a while. And then, of course, did the amateurs at 8. Mm-hmm. And now turned pro at 15. Right when I turned 15, too.
Well, congratulations. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see you go and turn pro at such a young age. Look, why did you get into a gym? What was the catalyst that got you in there? Was it a parent, an uncle, or, hey, were you having bullies at school? What was the catalyst for that?
Well, I did T-ball before boxing, but it was my grandparents that got me into boxing. And then my whole family, they were just, a fan of boxing. Mm-hmm. My dad, he would get the tapes and go watch Mike Tyson or something. So, and then, of course, my birthdays, every time my birthday, it lands on Cinco de Mayo. So, Canelo.
Oh, happy belated birthday!
So I turn 16 tomorrow.
Man, that's crazy. And what were you going to say about Canelo?
Nah, Canelo would always fight on Cinco de Mayo, so
right.
So those birthday parties, whole family go crazy.
Yeah, it must have been a good time. Invite me next year. I'll definitely show up. That sounds like a kick-ass time. Now, when you first got into a gym, how scary was that as a young kid getting in there? I mean, a gym smells different. It feels different. It's got a different vibe than anywhere I've ever been. If you're in a boxing gym or an MMA gym, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What was it like as a young kid walking into a gym for the first time?
When I first walked in there, I felt like I belonged there. Getting one-on-ones. It just felt like I belonged there, and it was, I don't know, when I was young, so I didn't know too much, but I know that smell that you're talking about.
Exactly. We all know what that smell is, man.
Nice musky smell.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is. Everybody at home who's ever been into a gym right now is going, "Yep, I know what you're talking about."
Oh, for
Um,
sure. It's definitely
now
nostalgic.
you said your grandparents and your father were big fight fans. Do you remember the first fight that you watched with them?
Mm, nah, I don't remember.
All right. What
I
about
don't remember.
your favorite fight growing up? What do you have one that just sticks out in your mind that you go back and you watch from time to time?
I want to say Mayweather and Canelo.
Yeah, that's a good
Mayweather and
one.
Canelo. Or Manny Pacquiao with Mayweather.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, since you mentioned Pacquiao, you mentioned Canelo, and now we've mentioned Mayweather. The question of the day being: is Mayweather the GOAT?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is, yeah. Not for sure. No doubt.
Everybody says it, and I always say I'm old, so we could talk about Muhammad Ali, we could talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, we could talk about Mike Tyson, we could talk about Mayweather. It's definitely we're not talking about Jake Paul quite yet, though. Sorry, Jake. I'm sorry. Hey, drink Prime. It's good. All right, there. I've made up for
Yeah.
it.
Hey, but you know what a good one was? It was Danny, my promoter, of course. I always watched him when I was growing up too.
Hey,
Always.
what was
Like growing
Danny's last
up.
name, and what was his career?
Danny Garcia.
Okay, what
He
was his
was
career record?
what is he right now? 33 and 3?
That's not bad at all. That's a
Yeah.
good record right there. We're
I
gonna give him props for that.
definitely had a good career, that's for sure.
All right. So as a young kid looking towards your future, what are some of the things that you know that you need to focus on? What are as you come of age and you've got to know that you don't know a lot at this point. I mean, but it seems like you're willing to listen and willing to learn. So what are the things that you want to focus on as you get older, stronger, bigger and better?
Um, I just want to understand more on just how the pro game goes, of course. Make sure everything's right with all paperwork and all that. So I just really want to understand. I just really want to understand, more of that because of course, I'm new to the game. It's
Yeah.
different, way different compared to the amateurs.
Yeah,
You
well, talk about that. What were some of the hurdles that you had to overcome going from amateur to pro, especially at such a young age?
So when I stopped doing the amateurs at 13, and I started sparring pros at the age of 13, just to like just to switch up the style more. Cause definitely the pro, like you gotta pick shots. It's more of a slower pace.
Mhm.
Amateurs more like go go go. But in the pro game, it's definitely more slower. I'm sparring grown men, so of course they're gonna be
Yeah,
stronger than me.
yeah, they are.
And they're gonna be sitting on punches. So yeah, we just had to do a transition,
Mhm.
and we executed that.
And what do you feel like you and your team were ready for it? And do you feel like you're well prepared as a professional now?
Now for sure, I do like that was always the goal.
Hmm.
That was always the goal to turn pro at a young age. Devin Haney, he definitely put the blueprint out there.
Okay.
And, we're kind of following that.
Hey, if somebody else did it before you, that the American way is to find somebody who did it before you and do it better than they did before. So I wish you the best of luck in that area. Um, if you could fight anyone, and I'm not talking about right now, I'm just talking about in general over the next few years as you get into the pro game, who's your dream matchup?
Anyone.
Anyone? I like that. You know what? You come prepared, right? You'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Hell yeah.
I like that, man. I definitely like that. All right. So before we get into 5 questions, I would like to give you a moment out of the day to talk about anything you want to talk about. You have an upcoming fight on Saturday, June 7th. You will be fighting for the NBA World Youth title. It's going to be exciting. You'll be able to catch it on millions.co. That's .co if you're not into the whole, well, if you're into the whole brevity thing, I suppose. But thank your mom, thank your dad, thank your sponsors. Talk about sponsors you want. Thank anybody, say anything. Talk about your favorite video game. I don't care.
No, for
Go
sure.
ahead.
I wanna thank all my sponsors, Pebble Jeweler, Venom, Tulum. I wanna thank all my sponsors. If I'm forgetting some, but um shout out to Mint and I got some more, but I ain't gonna
Is that
say
Mint Mobile with Ryan Reynolds?
nah, nah.
No?
But nah, I'm just, getting ready for the June 7th fight. I know it's definitely gonna be exciting, especially for the world title, youth world title.
I mean, that's
So
exciting, right?
I'm
Is this,
excited, yeah.
yeah, was this part of your game plan? Youth title, was that a bullet point in the whole plan?
I guess so.
It is now,
I
right?
guess so, yeah. So I'm just really excited, shout out to $1 Million Streams, it's gonna be lit.
Yes, it's definitely going to be lit, and you will be able to catch it right here on Millions and on all the platforms that show great fights. And you know what? I think that you are going to have a stellar career, and I am going to look back on this when you turn 21 and go, "Hey, man, remember that time we interviewed each other? I interviewed you when you were like 15, and now look at you. Hey, can I get some front row tickets, please?"
I got you.
I appreciate
Got you.
that. I appreciate that. All right, my man. Well, let's get down to the game that all the kids are playing and talking about on the streets and in the playgrounds. Let's get down to 5 questions.
All right.
It's exactly what it sounds like, and it is brought to you by Newhouse. If you're sitting in a gaming chair, you're not doing your butt correctly. Please go over to newhouse.com. It's got office decor, home decor, and great chairs. If you're sitting in a gaming chair, you're not a boss. Sit like the real bosses do in a real chair. Go to newhouse.com. Use code Logan Radio Rocks. I'll save you that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do. All right. It's time to play 5 questions. Numero uno. What is your favorite sneaker brand?
There's a lot,
I
but
know.
me growing up, I was always Jordan, like Jordan ones. But my favorite retros, probably the Jordan 11s.
All right, so it's safe to say you're a Nike dude.
I'm a Nike, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I were to ask you who's the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan, who would you say?
People gonna hate me, but of course LeBron.
Oh, man.
Oh God!
Oh, man.
No!
Now, look, the answer to that question is always defined by age. If you turn around and ask your dad, he's going to say Jordan every time. I guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah. No, but LeBron, I feel like in this era is definitely more harder. I mean, shoot, he was down, I think what, 3-1, came back. But I know they lost this season.
They did.
It was a tough loss, but
Hey, Cavs are still in it, though. The Cavs are
that's
playing
yeah.
against the Pacers right now.
Oh really? Damn, I
Let's
gotta
let's go Cleveland. Cleveland rocks, but without LeBron, it's still doing just fine. All
no,
right.
sure.
I want to ask you, who or what motivates you to do better?
Definitely definitely my family. They definitely motivate me. You know, just the times we went through. Definitely some rough times, but I know, we just gotta go through it, and that's what motivates me to keep on grinding.
So you're fighting for your family, right?
Now for sure.
Yeah. That's
sure.
awesome. And that has to get you out of bed every morning, right? You wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to rock and roll for your family, not only for yourself and your pride, but also for the pride of your pack. And, with your grandparents and your father getting you into the sport, obviously you're going to want to thank them. And the best way that you can is to be the best version of yourself. And you look like you're doing that each and every single day. So congratulations to you, my man.
I appreciate that.
All right, big question here, my friend. Are you going to be able to pass your driving test? I mean, are you ready for it? You're a pro fighter. Can you pass your driving test?
Of course.
Oh, you do not sound like you're sure on that at all. Can you parallel park?
I tried it. I tried it before.
Yeah.
I did all right. My mom.
All right.
My mom
Okay.
said I did all right, so I think I could pass it.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna pass it.
that's what I like to hear. There you go. You know you're going to do it. You're going to have to send me a picture of that beautiful driver's license when you get it, all right?
I will.
And here's the last question of 5 questions for today. All right. You're young. I'm old. Teach me something new. What's a great musician that, because I'm old, I've never heard of that I should be listening to right now?
Let me put you on. All right.
Yeah, please put me on.
You look like the type of dude to listen to like Young Thug.
Young Thug.
Thug.
Young Thug's not terrible. I'm a big Tory Lanez fan. I got to be honest with you.
Ooh.
All right, let me ask you this: Drake or Kendrick?
Drake. What?
Oh, see, I can't stand Drake. He's a whiny. You know what? All he does is whine on his songs. Oh, I'm so rich. Oh, I'm so awesome. Hey, no one likes me, dude. All he does is whine.
Nah, you gotta go back like Drake, like 2000s, 10s. He took that.
All right.
Like he took all that. He took that whole era.
They do tell me that. That's like the college era of Kanye West. Back in the day when he was actually spitting something that you could listen to.
Yeah. Kanye kind of went a little cuckoo.
A little cuckoo. Dude, he's gonna wind up in a cell next to Diddy. They'll be passing baby oil all day long. And you're gonna tell me babies made that oil? Isn't that how we got into this problem in the first place? Anyways. All right. So on Saturday, June 7th.
Yes, sir.
You will be fighting for the NBA Youth World title. I want you to tell your opponent exactly how you're going to beat him. Because I know you're that confident. Well, how are you going to go in there and defeat your opponent so that your hand is raised high and you get win number 4 on your record?
Let's just say it's gonna be a good night's sleep.
I like that. Are you willing to make a prediction in what round you're going to put them down?
I'm gonna tuck him in bed with his little
burrito. Little
burrito. But let's go with first round.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. First round.
Let's do it.
Knockout.
I say it and I do it. Exactly.
You know what? I like your attitude. I like where your head's at. And I like that you're fighting for your family. You got something to wake up in the morning for. It's not just about you. It's about the team around you because you can't do it by yourself. They say it takes a village, and I'm glad that you have your village behind you. His name is King David Garcia. And once again, they will be fighting Saturday, June 7th, right here on Millions.co for the World Youth title. It's going to be exciting. Do not miss out. If you miss out, you're going to miss out on the future of fighting. All right. I've got 2 more interviews coming at you today, so don't go anywhere. Be good to yourself and be kind to others. Pay it forward, play it forward. Rock like a party star. Party like a rock star. Smile strong, laugh loud. Last but not least, please like, follow, and subscribe, because we'll be back doing it once again. Take care of my main man, King David over there. Follow them on everything. Big things in the future for this young man. And remember, David, everybody loves a good fight. We'll see you soon. Thanks, my friend.